Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. On today's episode of the Prime, we are bringing you an episode of the CrossOver as we are now just an hour or so away from the 2026 NBA draft. And so this will be our one and only mock draft of the year. So please pay attention to all of the content. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point, helping my co-host right there, Mr. TJ Hopkins. And an hour away from the draft, TJ, a lot of stuff been happening over the last 24 hours or so. It's been very interesting to see things play out so far. And we finally got the Giannis trade. We'll talk about that here briefly before we get into the mock draft. But finally, we can put all that noise to bed. It feels like it's been 3 years of is he in or is he out? But now we know for sure he's going to the Miami Heat. There's been tons of rumors going around about the NBA draft. If you had to pick a rumor that you find the most interesting right now, do you have a favorite rumor?
No, because now the rumor mill shifts from where's Giannis going to where's Jaylen Brown going. Like, you can't not trade Jaylen Brown after all of this.
I think so too. I think we have a hard time, being like, oh yeah, we tried to shade you away for Giannis, but then bring him back. I mean, he understands. He's been in trade conversations basically for the last 3 seasons. So ever since he signed that Supermax.
No, he's been in trade conversations pretty much his whole career.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he was a part of. Like, he was supposed to be in a deal for Jimmy Butler. He was supposed to be in a deal for Kevin Durant. He was supposed to be in a deal for James Harden. Like, if there's nothing that Jaylen Brown isn't used to, it's being in trade and being linked to trade rumors.
Without further ado, let's talk about some stuff going on in the NBA. We'll get into our mock draft here in a second. But yeah, trades so far. There's been 2 big ones. I'm not going to talk about was it Aaron Wiggins or Wiggins.
Oh, Aaron Wiggins to
Aaron Wiggins being traded for draft capital. I don't remember where he got traded to, but we're not going to talk about that trade. We are going to talk about the Randall trade to the Brooklyn Nets and Nick Claxton coming to the Chicago Bulls and the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the 33rd overall pick in this upcoming draft. The Nets also
got sent to Atlanta. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
And then the Nets also got an extra first-round pick in this trade, as they now have the 28th overall pick in the first round. And Julius Randle goes to the Nets. He's still got, I think, 2 or 3 years left on his current contract. Nick Claxton, I think, has 2 years left on his current contract. The Bulls just don't have to give up anything to get him. They're basically just absorbing him with cap space. I know Julius Randle was not great in the playoffs this most recent round.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get this in the Timberwolves. You think you'd want to keep the first round pick just to keep, so you have a guy who's going to have a 5th-year option. Like, I don't get this trade for Minnesota at all. I don't understand any of this trade. So as it's obvious from the group chat, like I don't like, why does this trade benefits no one? I don't get it.
Well, one,
it benefits the Bulls a whole bunch, but other than that, I don't.
This makes the Minnesota Timberwolves look that much more awful. Like, it was already bad that the Knicks win the championship, right?
2 years later, yeah.
2 years after you traded away the guy that you pegged to be the franchise player before moving that tag on to Anthony Edwards. All right. I can't help but think about the show we did when Rudy Gobert first got traded to Minnesota.
Yeah, the 7 first-round picks.
Like 5 first, and David asked me, he goes, TJ, does this work? David might not remember my answer, but I do. I said that shit better work.
I mean, it's been all right. Rudy Gobert has actually been pretty good in Minnesota since he's gotten there.
But you also got to keep in mind, like, when you make a move like that, you're not making that move just to eventually lose to an OKC, to a San Antonio, to a Denver, right? You're making that move to hoist that trophy.
Yeah.
But then
I just this trade just seems like I understand on the Timberwolves you got to clear some cap space, so now they they were able to sign Ayo Dosunmu to his 5-year, $112 million
cashed him
extension
out.
yesterday, shortly after this trade went down. It still frees them up with a little bit. So now they're out of the second apron. So now they've opened up a mid-level exception. They've also added a whatever the other exception is called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they have $15 million in cap space now to sign another
But
player, and then they'll have $5 million
that
on top of that.
that also kind of tells me you're not serious about winning, because like James Dolan has already came out and said like, oh, we're not going to be a second apron team.
They already
Boston,
are. I'm pretty sure they already are a second apron team. But
like
all right.
we literally just seen Boston in back-to-back years give their two top players $300 million. That's $600 million between two players.
And shop one of them every offseason.
Like, you gotta be willing to spend money in order to win. Like at Minnesota, you're playing a very dangerous game because you're gonna fuck around and you're gonna piss off Anthony Edwards, and then you're gonna lose another premier player that you had.
I just personally think the Wolves should have kept their 28th overall pick. I honestly think Naz Reid will probably be their starting power forward moving forward. He's been pretty good for them since he's gotten there. He's 6 man of the year, right? Did he win 6 man of the year?
He won 6. No, I don't think he's reigning 6 man of the year. No, he's not reigning.
No, he's not the reign, but he 2 years ago.
He has a 6 man of the year award.
So I think he's going to start at power forward for them. They'll keep Rudy Gobert. I don't understand why you had to attach a first round pick in order to get rid of Julius Randle. I don't think he's been I know he wasn't good in the playoffs this most recent go around, but I just don't understand this trade. On the Nets side, I mean, you kind of need, so they don't have control over their pick next year. It's still part of that, goes to the Houston Rockets. So you kind of need to have a floor raiser on your roster. We didn't do anything with the lottery stuff, but like the way the lottery now has been shifted. I mean, if you could have the worst record in the NBA now and absolutely have no chance of getting the first round pick.
That's kind of been the case the last couple years.
But it's more pronounced now because
next year they're doing a new lottery system. I have to read up more on it.
Well, it's pretty simple. So if you have the first, so they're gonna make it people. So if you have the 4 worst records in the NBA, they will have 2 ping pong balls per team that go into whatever it goes into, and then from 4 to 10, I believe is 4 to 10. You will have maybe it's 4 to 12. You'll have 3 ping pong balls. So it incentivizes teams to stay out of the basement and move into that 4 through 10 area. The thing I really don't understand about it is what happens to the teams that make it into the play-in. So if you are the 10, was it the 10 or 11 seed? The 10 or 11 seed in each respective, or 9 or 10, sorry, 9, 10 each respective conference, you will only get 1 ping pong ball. When it comes to the lottery, we should probably at some point do a whole show about the new lottery system because it's I don't really like it or get it.
It's but if you ain't paying attention, it'll confuse the shit out of you.
But anyways, Brooklyn, they already don't have their pick next year anyways. It goes to the Houston Rockets as part of the James Harden trade. Yes, that trade that long ago, still paying dividends for the Houston Rockets. And so they incentivizes not being complete trash next season because their pick's going to go to Houston. And Julius Randle is at least a floor raiser, maybe not a ceiling raiser for this team, depending on who they end up taking in a couple hours here. But I don't know. This is a weird trade, and when it first went down, I was like, I don't think this helps anyone. Besides the Bulls.
Like the problem with I ain't gonna say
because now you could put Claxton next to Caleb Wilson. We'll get to it in a second, but
right.
I think that's not even really good back. I think that's. I'm not even
gonna classify it as a quote unquote problem. Like we also got to keep on Brooklyn has a bunch of picks from the Nets. I mean from the Nets have a bunch of picks from the Knicks
and the Suns.
Yeah,
they got four first round picks. None of them in this draft, I don't think.
So it's like if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you gotta your saving grace has to your argument has to be hey man, just hold on. Those picks are coming, they're coming. Your job is you have to hit on those picks. Now you have a quote unquote foundation in Julius Randle and Michael Porter Jr. The question is, do you hold on to those two, or do you try to flip both of them for more assets? Right? Like, if let's just say you going into this season, and by the All-Star break, or like by January / the All-Star break, or whenever the trade deadline is, you know for a fact, like, hey, this ain't working. This is not gonna happen. Do you ship Michael Porter Jr. to a playoff contender? Do you ship him to, I don't know, like an Atlanta or a Indiana, or hell, like, let's just say Houston needs more perimeter shooting? Do you ship a Michael Porter Jr. that? Do you do another deal with Houston?
I still think there's a small chance that the Houston Rockets that Michael Porter Jr. could be traded tonight at some point.
Right?
Yeah. So
same thing with Julius Randle. Like, it's I'm sorry, there's some, I think that was a fire truck that drove past my window. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that or not.
we couldn't hear it or not.
Okay,
but just putting a bow on this trade. We'll see what ends up shaking out. Let's talk about the big trade, though.
Yes.
Finally, the Giannis saga that's been playing out over the last 2.5 seasons has finally come to fruition. The Miami Heat have. Yeah, 2.5. Basically, it's just been ridiculous.
No. It's about that 2.5.
Miami Heat are receiving Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis. The Milwaukee Bucks are getting Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Casper Giaconis. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Casper Giaconis, yes.
I know I nailed the last name. The first name I may not have gotten.
Illinois U of I product, really good, lottery pick.
They get the 13th overall pick in this draft coming up in about an hour. They get first-round picks in 2031 and 2033. They get a pick swap in 2030, and then they get a second-round pick in 2033. Finally, this saga is over. Giannis gets to move away from Milwaukee. We get to move into another phase of Milwaukee Bucks basketball. This trade cannot be finalized until July 6th. So there is an opportunity, because you remember last season, the Kevin Durant trade went down before the draft, but it couldn't be finalized until like the 6th or whatever the date was. Then it ended up bloating into like the 17 trade, like one of the largest trades in NBA history. So it's possible that there could be stuff changing in this. Like Tyler Hero could be redirected from Milwaukee somewhere else before this trade gets finalized. I personally, I think Milwaukee did good on this, because the rumor mill that was swirling was talking about them just getting these players, actually not getting Jackie Jonas, and then getting the 13th overall pick, and then like these other picks were kind of added in later. I imagine Milwaukee was just holding out to see if they could get this draft capital from Milwaukee, maybe, because the bolts of this trade were on the table forever. Like they probably could have made this trade at the deadline. But Milwaukee held out, and now because they held out, they got additional lottery picks, and now they have 10 and 13 in this upcoming draft, which if they run it to, they could try to package up those two picks and try to move up into the, like if they were to take Tyler Hero, their 10th pick and 13th pick, call up the Clippers and be like, hey, we'll give you Tyler Hero if you can give us
pick number 5
for 5. And then you get 10, you get 13, Tyler Hero, which if they're going to try to be competitive next season, Garland, Hero, Kawhi, that's nice. That's pretty solid. And then you get 12, 10, and 13.
That backcourt still ain't playing no damn defense, man. Come on.
No, I know, but it's still, offensively, it's going to be solid. And then you can add some pieces of 10 and 13, right? Like, I think Milwaukee did good here. Like, I don't know how much more better.
Okay, so
the only way they could have done better is if they traded him 2 years ago. Like other than that.
So here's the thing. The projected 5th overall pick is Keaton Wagler, another Illinois product. Illinois got to win a national championship coming soon, because it's just too many goddamn good players that came out in the last 5 years for us not to have one. But Keaton Wagler, 19 years old. When I say fearless, David, I know you don't watch college basketball a lot. Fearless. Dude, back in January, went into one of the toughest college basketball atmospheres in Purdue. Illinois goes to Purdue. At one point in time, it was like 16-14, Purdue, Illinois. Keaton Wagler had all 14 points. He finished with 44. And an upset win on the road.
His rise has been bananas. Like he wasn't even a top 100 prospect when he came out of high school, and he's going to be he's going to be a top. He's guaranteed to be a top 10 pick.
Like that, and that was the crazy part, right? He's in Kansas. He's from Kansas, and Kansas State in his backyard. They don't recruit him. He goes to Illinois. He kills it, and the entire story was how the hell did Bill Self let this kid slip through his fingers? Because Brad Underwood gets him, puts the ball in his hands, and says, "Hey, man, go to work." If he goes to the Clippers at 5, you ain't got to hold his hand. You ain't got to baby him. You ain't got to do none of that shit. Get him the ball and let him go to work.
We'll talk more about Keegan Lackler when we get to the actual mock draft. But and then if you're Miami, you got to be kind of like if you're Milwaukee. Another thing you're kind of banking on, the reason that these first round picks are not till 2031 and 2033.
Giannis will be 36 and 38.
Yeah, Giannis has already had, some history of some calf injuries, right? And so, like, you got to be like, maybe he's going to get banged up. Like, you don't hope for that, right? Obviously, he's been the franchise player. He's going to have a statue outside the building at some point someday.
Jersey retirement, all that good shit.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, for sure, jersey retirement. That's not a question. Like, you gotta be like, if it's possible that Giannis could be already retired by 31 and the Heat will not be as good as they are in the next couple seasons. That's why you have those picks way out in the future. Also, the Heat may just owe future draft capital, which I don't have that in front of me right now. But the Heat. And also the other thing is the Heat. Like, so they missed out on Damian Lillard, they missed out on Kevin Durant, they missed out on Bradley Beal. Like the narrative was James Harden. The narrative was starting to swirl. Was like the Heat were they were constantly lowballing these trade offers, and they were just missing.
Not only not to cut you off, but they also ran. You can argue that they ran Jimmy Butler out. Like Jimmy Butler was just like so frustrated with the lack.
Yeah, like when they didn't get Damian, didn't get Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler's like, I need to get out of here. And the Heat. This is you get the star finally. I'm not totally crazy about the pairing of Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's going to be a menace on defense. I'm just not sure what the floor spacing is going to be like.
I shared the starting 5 with my brother. Also my brother is in Australia right now, and so our schedules are fucking opposite. So when I'm at work, his day is usually just getting started and all that other good stuff. So I send him the starting 5. It's going to be Mitchell, Powell, who could also leave in free agency, by the way.
Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent.
Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. And my brother just goes, yeah, that's not it. like quiet as kept. Like if the starting 5 for the Miami Heat going into the season is Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. Defensively, yeah, like you said, defensively it's gonna be clamps. They're gonna be locking shit up. It's gonna be straight 80s ball. Like,
yeah, I the floor spacing is something I would be concerned about, and I would be also concerned about the depth on this roster. Because we've seen over the course of the last couple seasons, like the teams that won NBA titles are the teams that had
fucking deep.
Substantial depth. I mean, the Spurs were pretty deep. The Knicks were pretty deep. You go back 2 years ago, the Thunder and the Pacers, both those two teams, pretty deep at all positions on the floor. So, I mean, when you look at the rest of the roster, now that they've made this trade, depth chart, sorry. And then, then we probably should get into the mock draft but yeah, I mean, outside of the starting lineup, I mean, we're talking about Bobby Portis coming off the bench, the mayor of Milwaukee. They have Pelly Larson, Drew Smith, Jameer Young, Myron Gardner, Keshad Johnson. Like none of these guys are really quote unquote ceiling raisers. They were able to keep Nikola Jovic in this trade, whatever that is worth, because he had potential when he came out of college or came out of the Euros. He has not really been healthy or played much in his NBA career. So maybe they can get something out of him. I would be, if I was a Heat fan, I would be a little bit concerned about the lack of depth that this leaves you with now. But you have to make this trade every single time and twice on Sunday. You have to.
Yeah, like again, you just wish it was you just wish it was made sooner. I understand like Giannis didn't play past a certain point this season. Um, this whole thing. I don't. The only thing I don't want is Giannis to somehow to come out and play like woe is me. And it's like, dude, like this franchise did everything
Yeah.
on your behalf. You complained about Adrian Griffin. They fired him. Then you hired Doc Rivers, and you literally weren't any better. Like you literally could have kept Adrian Griffin and kept like keep in mind you fired Adrian
I mean,
Griffin.
they got worse.
Like
Let's be
fired
honest.
You fired Adrian Griffin when he was 31-13 as a head coach or
Yeah.
whatever it was, and then you never really had a record that good since. Like say what you want, like blame the injuries, blame whatever, but some of that falls on him now. Like we kill LeBron James all the time for firing his head coaches, for blowing up rosters, for
Yeah.
whatever. And when they fall short, whatever it is, when they fall short, you the best player. You got to catch some of that. You got to catch some of that ass with him, bro. Like that falls on you.
And if it doesn't work out in Miami, but you're damn sure he's going to catch some of that ass whooping. But yeah,
Because
we'll
like
see what ends up.
no, go ahead.
I'll just say we'll see what ends up happening with that. We probably should get into the mock draft. We only have about like an hour before the draft actually starts, so but yeah, let's talk about it. Mock draft. So yeah, I got a lot of moving pieces and parts here. Obviously, I put one trade in my mock draft. I just think that there's going to be at least. I think there's going to be one trade that I'm almost positive is going to happen. I'm not sure what the deal is going to look like. I'm sure it's going to happen. But yeah, let's talk about we got a lot of rumors. We had the people, not wanting to be at certain places. But let's talk about what's on the clock. Number one at the Washington Wizards. They have an interesting decision to make. TJ, who are the Wizards taking at number one overall?
I think the worst kept secret is AJ Devonta going number one to Washington. It should be him, unless they feel super strongly about someone else. Also, I not to try to, because like I know this is a dangerous game that people play. Like people compare draft classes all the time. This has 2003 level depths in terms of who these players can turn into. Now, obviously, to be fair, right, there's no LeBron James in this draft. There's no Dwayne Wade in this draft. There's no Carmelo Anthony in this draft, right? That 2003 draft class, like that's just how fucking good those dudes were, right? Could these players turn into that? Could they eventually become that? Yeah, absolutely. AJ Devonta at one, I think has been probably I think that's probably since he committed to BYU, like he's like like they had him as a projected. Now, are there others that could go number one? Absolutely. Would I be surprised? Also, absolutely.
I don't think there is any scenario where AJ Devonta isn't the number one overall pick. Even if the rumors about Utah wanting to trade up, they're trading up to get AJ Devonta. I know Darren Peterson really wants to be the first overall pick. Because of it, the people in his he just really wants to be the first overall pick. He wants to have that cachet around him. But AJ Devonta will be the first overall pick. Whether it's the Utah Jazz trading up because they just want to keep the BYU product in Utah. But I don't think, because AJ Devonta just fits. AJ Devonta also doesn't really fit as nicely on the Utah Jazz roster as Darren Peterson does on that Jazz roster. AJ Devonta, like, because of the Jazz, the construction of their roster, he doesn't fit as easily into there with Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., whatever's going on with Walker Kessler. But AJ Devonta fits perfectly into the Wizards roster. He would literally just slide right into the three spot. And now that they brought Trae Young back, I mean, that contract is a little bit egregious, but I mean, they kind of had to in order to keep the asset.
All things aside, Hey, all things aside, Trae Young still is a career 25 and 10 assist dude.
Yeah, he's still one of the best point guards in the NBA. What his defensive limitations aside, but AJ DeMonso will be a Washington Wizard. From there, we have the Utah Jazz on the clock, and I got them going. Darren Peterson. I know he didn't work out for Utah, but Danny Ainge has shown in the past after what he did with Ace Bailey last year. Oh, he did. He did. Last year, he didn't have. He didn't work out with the Jazz.
No, I think he's literally the only team they're the literally only team he did work out for.
I thought it was.
I'm talking about him. Like he's the only.
Anyways, Darren Peterson will be a Utah Jazz. He fits perfectly onto this roster. I mean, you have their point guard name is escaping right now, but they have Lauri Markkanen, you have Jaren Jackson Jr., and then you have Walker Kessler. That starting lineup would be full for next season, especially for a Jazz.
You got Keontae George.
Thank you. Yeah, that especially for a Jazz team that I think wants to raise their ceiling next season. You brought in Jaren Jackson Jr. You traded away some draft capital to the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, Darren Peterson I think will be at Utah Jazz.
Yeah. I think pre Jaren Jackson, there was a rumor or a world where they saw Cam Boozer going to Utah, following Pappy's steps,
and not to mention Carlos does still work in the front office for the Utah Jazz currently, but he just doesn't make sense on their roster right now.
And the whole Walker Kessler thing of it is, I think I read the Utah Jazz offered him 140 M's. I forgot how many years of that. And Walker Kessler said no. So you have to figure that out. Like I said, you still got Jaren Jackson. So unless I don't know how many years Walker Kessler has on his current deal.
He's going to be a restricted free agent next season, so they were just trying to extend him this offseason.
Oh, so technically, like this coming season, he'll still be a Utah Jazz. Like, okay, so I can see a world like it's different if Walker Kessler's gone, then you draft a Cam Boozer, and you just run him with Jaren and as your 4 and 5. But the fact that he's still there, and then I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't see anybody not named Darren Peterson going number 2. Hell, even like
actually, I was wrong. Walker Kessler actually is a free agent. He's restricted, so like the Utah Jazz can match any.
Oh, they can match the deal.
Yeah, they can match whatever he gets. But yeah, he does not. He will be a restricted free agent when free agency starts on July 6th.
Okay.
But I still think Darren Peterson's going to be the pick for the Utah Jazz. There's just no way it's anyone else.
Now that just makes me wonder, bro. Like, if you turn up, what are you asking for? What are you legitimately asking for if 140 M's is not what you're looking for? Like, what are you like? You ain't no DPOY. You ain't none of that, bro. Like, what are you asking for? I can see if you had one of them under your belt, if you had a defense player of the year under your belt, if you had an all-star appearance under your belt, what are you asking for?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll revisit free agents when we get closer to it. And then the Memphis Grizzlies at number 3, as they had very good lottery luck. TJ, who do you got at number 3 for the Memphis Grizzlies?
For the sake of us, Cam Boozer. Cam Boozer goes 3 to Memphis. Ja Morant is still on some still out there on some trade rumors. I don't know who would. I honestly don't know who would want Ja Morant right now.
Well, I mean, if you're, he wasn't particularly good last season, and then there's all the off the court stuff. But if you are the Timberwolves, and I think you would raise the ceiling of that team. And if you have to kind of go all in if you're Minnesota, even though they just traded away some draft. I don't know. I mean, that trade could expand Ja Morant going to Minnesota because that's been rumored for a long time, or to Houston too. I mean, he would make a lot of sense in Houston. They could find a way to make that work.
Yeah. So if I'm Memphis, I go Cam Boozer. This is like the one thing I like about it so far is, and our next pick, like the first 4 to 5 picks should literally be hand in glove type fits.
Yeah, I think this is one of the first times where it's like we're pretty sure who the first 4 picks are going to be. I think there's a little bit of question marks after the first 4 picks, especially if the first 7 picks in this draft. But I think the first 4 picks are all basically locks. I mean, going swinging right. I also have Cameron Boozer going at number 3 to the Memphis Grizzlies, and then at number 4 I have the Chicago Bulls going Caleb Wilson. They got awesome lottery luck, just like Memphis did. They got an opportunity to get a potential franchise player, and there's potential that Caleb Wilson could be the best player in this draft. He has all of the intangibles to be an excellent 3 or 4. He's got defensive tangibles. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit. It's too bad he didn't get to play in the NCAA tournament to really showcase his skills. But I mean, I am almost 100% certain that in some order, these will be the first 4 players off the board. And Boozer, Peterson, DeMonsa, and then Caleb Wilson going forward to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls finally get to reset this.
Yeah, Caleb Wilson, 19 and 11, and the games he did play, like you said, really unfortunate that he didn't get a chance to showcase himself in the tournament. But at the same time, like, you got to look at it like this, man. Like, either you got it or you don't. Kyrie Irving played what, 12, 13 games as a freshman at Duke, still went number 1 overall, right? So it's a perfect example of, hey, either you got it or you don't. You pair Caleb Wilson with Modest Buzelis, and you go from there, man. Like, you hope Bryson Graham does the right thing here. You hope Tiago Splitter is the guy. Like, as a Bulls fan, like, I'm sick of hitting the reset button every 5 years.
Well,
like,
I think Tiago's. I'm actually kind of surprised that Tiago Splitter didn't keep that job in Portland. I mean,
okay. Wait. Did you see the deal that Micah Nori signed with Portland?
No, I didn't. I know he got hired this morning or this afternoon.
I think it's like I think it's a. Well, from what I read, it's like a 3 or 4 year deal. Only one of them is guaranteed, and he has an option after this season. So like, he's going to coach. Okay. It's like he coaches the full season, and it's like if he wants to come back, he'll come back.
I mean, because Tiago Splitter, like, it's not very often that the head coach of the basketball team a couple days into the season gets arrested and is unable to return for the remainder of the season. And Tiago Splitter just inherits that job, and like they make the playoffs. Like they make the playoffs. I know they got bounced in 5 games against the Spurs, but like the fact that they made the playoffs and they were really good in the second half of the season. There are some question marks about his half court stuff, but in transition, I mean, Tiago Splitter, I think that was a fantastic hire for the Chicago Bulls. And then there were things I think things were actually get interesting when it comes to this particular draft. We have the Los Angeles Clippers on the clock. They have this pick because of the trade they made with the Indiana Pacers that sent in Zubac to Indiana. Indiana has a 19 or whatever the math is record, and they don't even have a first round pick. Don't even
have a first round pick, bro.
That's tough.
That's tough. Ain't that tough? Oh my God, that's tough.
Because I mean, they were banking on the fact that they were going to be able to add.
Like, it's so tough. It's so tough. Their GM came out after the draft lottery and literally issued an apology to Pacer fans, like, yo, I am so sorry.
Because Zubac is a good player, and he's going to raise their ceiling next season, but he's not 5th overall pick good. Anyways, this is where I have my only trade in this particular mock draft. I have the Sacramento Kings going up to 5, and they get the guy that they've been linked to for most of this process. They don't want to play games. They want Darius Acuff Jr., the kid from Arkansas, and they trade up with the Clippers. The Clippers get up some future draft capital out of this trade. I haven't really figured out what the future draft capital is, but this trade is happening. I think the Kings want Darius Acuff Jr. I don't think they should sit around at 7 and wait for him to hope that he falls. If you want a guy, so I'm got the Kings going Darius Acuff Jr. at 5.
Darius Acuff is like Izzy's favorite player. He wants Darius Acuff to be a Bull. I don't, and I want to say, like, he's literally in the minority in that camp. Like, one Acuff to the Bulls at 4. I'm sticking with. I'm going straight chalk here. I don't have any trades. I'm going Keaton Wagler at 5 for the reasons I said earlier. You gotta have Darius Garland is like dude's a solid dude's a solid player, right? He's solid as hell. There are just too many times, and it was you saw this in Cleveland too, where he's just too passive. Like when it was him and Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland, it was too much of give Donovan the ball and get the hell out the way. Like let Donovan go 1-on-5. Like no, bro. Like go, like be assertive. You got it like that offensively, bro. Like you can get hot in a second. Go get a bucket. And I don't know, like I can see a scenario where Darius Garland is no longer on this team and
Me too.
Keaton Wagler is running the show.
I could also see that scenario. Moving on from the 5th overall pick, let's talk about Sixers here. Brooklyn Nets on the clock after they had unfortunate lottery odds. TJ, who do you got the Brooklyn Nets taking at 6?
Doesn't matter. No, I'm just playing. That was rude. That was cold. That was so cold. After 5, ooh. So if you're like that's the thing. Like if you're Brooklyn, like I mean, like to ask what do you need is such an open-ended question because you need everything. Like you need a lot in Brooklyn.
Well, they need a center now. So
See, like, and this is where I kind of disagree with like the mock draft because Bleacher Report has them going Mikal Brown Jr. out of Louisville. And I'm like, the last thing this team needs is another guard.
I do think that's who they're going to take. I know they took 3-point guards in the draft last year, but none of them as good as Mikal Brown Jr. If you remember him from the USA game that they played with AJ DeBonsa kind of showed out in that game in the Worlds, I guess. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, the All-Star game. Yeah.
Mikal Brown Jr. was incredible in that game. Like he could have easily won the All-Star, the MVP. And obviously he had back injuries this season at Louisville, so he wasn't able to play in the NCAA tournament.
I mean, like I can see it. I also think a day this will kind of be high for an Ade Mara. The 7'4" big out of Michigan.
Yeah, probably.
But it's like you feel like I'm not going to pull up the Nets roster right now because like you traded they should still have. Oh, what is his name?
I got you.
Because you traded Nick Claxton away. You should
they still have Day'Ron Sharp, but he's
there. You go. Like you still got him. And I don't know. Like Mikal Brown Jr. is. It's like you said, like they went 3 guards last year, but none of them are him.
I mean, Igor Denham is a good basketball player, but he's just all right. Like he's not a reason to change a draft. Like you have a top 10 pick, this guy could be a ceiling raiser, Mikal Brown Jr. So if I'm the Nets, that's the way I'm going.
All right.
Moving on from there, we got the Sacramento Kings after they also had unfortunate lottery luck. They fall to number 7 in this particular draft with a bunch of aging players and really no real direction when it comes to their roster right now, which seems to be way too common in Sacramento. I have them taking – this is actually the Clippers on the clock now. I have them taking who they would have taken at 5, and you already broke it down a little bit earlier, but Keaton Wagler goes to the Clippers. That's one of the worst kept secrets, it feels like, in the NBA, where he will be either the Clipper. He will be a Clipper, I think, at some point, whether at 5, 7, 6, however it works out. Clippers, Keaton Wagler have been.
Yeah, so again, the Kings are still on the board for me. They have 2 decisions to make. They are looking to stretch and waive both Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. And oddly enough, DeMar DeRozan has been linked to the Clippers. If that does happen, which, yeah, go figure out how that works. Darius
I don't know if I saw this on the internet. I don't know if it's true or not. I think Russell Westbrook announced his retirement.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's probably one of those fake pages. So never mind. Just
100% would have got a notification about Russell Westbrook announcing his retirement.
Of course you would have.
No, I'm talking about like all. No, I'm talking about like all of us.
TJ might be the biggest Russell Westbrook fan I've met in a long.
No, I'm talking about like all of us would have gotten that. Like they would have been on ESPN. They would have been on Bleacher Report. They would have been on everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Darius Acuff here is. I understand. Like I understand it, bro. Like Darius Acuff went crazy in this past season, and Izzy's high. Like I said, Izzy's high on him. Is he a friend? Like the thing with Darius Acuff is this, bro. Like, is he a franchise dude?
I think there's talent there. I think he could work. I think that could work out.
Like, is Darius Acuff the type of player for you to be like here? And where I'm getting at is like now everybody is going to be looking for the quote unquote the next Jalen Brunson, the next 6'2", 6'3" guard to lead the team to a championship. And what they're going to fail to realize is you may have found your version of Jalen Brunson, but you don't have an OG, you don't have a Cat, you don't have a Mikal Bridges on your team, you don't have a Mitchell Robinson who could come in off the bench, and his sole purpose is literally just muddying shit up on the glass and just making life miserable for every team's opposing big. If Darius Acuff goes to Sacramento, what what else is there? Like they're talking about like what else is there? Seriously, what else is there?
I mean, they still got Sabonis on their roster. I just looked it up.
Who's also been in how many trade rumors now?
Same thing with Malik Monk. I mean, DeAndre Hunter is still a decent piece on their roster. They have Keegan Murray, who kind of peaked his rookie season, hasn't been really all that good since.
Shit since.
Yeah, so I mean, I think if you're the Sacramento Kings, I think you have to take this shot. Like I think you have to see if you can raise your ceiling.
If you're Sacramento, you're saying like, hey man, goddamn it, something has to work. Yeah, something has to work.
We got to figure something out here. Hopefully, it goes better than the other two guards that they've drafted over the last. They draft Tyrese Halliburton. They trade him away. And he goes to the finals. They trade away De'Aaron Fox, and he goes to the NBA finals.
And you fired Mike Brown, and he
fired Mike Brown. He wins the title.
Jesus Christ.
From there, we have the Atlanta Hawks on the clock with the 8th overall pick. They have this pick as a result of the Patrick Queen trade with the New Orleans, or Derek Queen, sorry. Wrong sport with Patrick Queen. Derek Queen trade with the New Orleans Pelicans in the draft last year. So now the Hawks are on the clock with the 8th overall pick. And I have them going and addressing their big situation. I know they have, what's his name? His name is totally escaping me right now. The big, and I have them going A.D. Mara, the big out of Michigan, 7'2" big man to partner with the rest of their roster right now, which actually surged after they traded away Trae Young. And actually, they're the team that actually gave the Knicks the best fight this postseason. They ended up taking 2 games to the Knicks in that first round of the playoffs. They need a big. What is that guy's name? He's not really a ceiling raiser either. I think they need a real big there in Atlanta, and I have them taking 80.
Congo?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
You still got Kuminga. You still got. All right, so I feel like this team.
Kuminga has got a team option, so they could decline it, and
they could. I don't see it,
but
you still got him. You still got Dyson. You still got. I mean, I feel like now the team it's Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson's team. They have Nicole Alexander-Walker had one of his best seasons as a pro. Corey Kispert, you brought back
McCollum.
CJ McCollum. You brought him back on a 3-year deal. I want to say yesterday or the day before. And then Kongwu, and then Jonathan Kuminga, Aaron Wiggins.
You just got him.
They have Zachary Richard for what it's worth.
And like he's expressed his frustrations with his role. It's like, dude, you're a bum. That's just what it is, man.
I
Like
think he needs to change the scenery real bad. So I mean, I'm not gonna go
he
on.
shouldn't have been the first. Like no, he shouldn't have
He
been the
should.
first overall pick. Like that's
It's true.
that's that's
Alex
what it
Sarr should have
is.
been the first overall pick. He's been a
That's
much better player, pro.
that's literally what it is. Like they could have went. They could have. Bilal Coulibaly could have been first overall, and he would have gave them more than what Ricochet has given
And not by much, but sure.
Atlanta. Um, Brandon Burries out of Arizona is. I don't. Eh. If I'm going to Arizona product, I'm going Cole Pete at 8. Like you said, like you kind of need more size up front. Cole Pete's at 6'8", 6'9", about 240. If that, like to be able to plug in right away, play immediately. Like yeah, I go Cole Pete.
6'8", 235 pounds.
Yeah. I go Cole Pete.
Okay. Moving on from the Atlanta Hawks, the Dallas Mavericks are on the clock. They're just coming off to having the Cooper Flag, the Rookie of the Year. I have them taking Kingston Fleming out of Houston. I think he pairs really nicely with Cooper Flag. Have him, it's also, I think, the highest player to be drafted in Houston basketball history. 6'4", 190 pounds. Whatever you're going to do with Kyrie Irving, which has been a lot of rumors.
Did you say the highest drafted player out of Houston?
I think so, because I know what's his name, the kid that's playing for the Pacers.
Where did Akeem Olajuwon go to college?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Houston.
In the modern era. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, I have them taking Kingston Fleming for the Dallas Mavericks. I think he's a really nice compliment to Cooper Flag. It should give them a really nice 1-2 punch. Even if they keep Kyrie Irving, I think he can play alongside Kyrie Irving in the foreseeable future.
They also made waves. New head coach Dusty May. Like I said in the group chat, Dusty May goes from Florida Atlantic to the NBA in 27 months.
Well, that's what happens when you win the Natty.
So I mean, like you take Florida Atlantic to a Final Four, you get hired at Michigan, you're there for 2 years. You're there for you're there for like a year and a half, and then you win the Natty. Now you're the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks.
It's quite the rise,
man. And like then you learn that Masai Ujiri purposefully sought out college coaches. He didn't want somebody's assistant. He didn't want a recycled head coach. Like he purposely interviewed John Shire. John Shire didn't want to leave Duke because John Shire feels like, hey, I got to win a natty here before I do anything else. So John Shire stayed at Duke. The Bulls also called about John Shire. So did Portland. So did whoever else really needs a head coach. So when John Shire couldn't be persuaded to leave Duke, Masai Ujiri then turned his attention to Dusty May. Because of that, Bleacher Report has Ade Mara going to Dallas at 9. He links up with his old college coach. And if you're Dallas, it's like, hey, we see this one dude who's also 7'4" quite a few times a year. He's a couple hours down the road.
And not to mention, I mean, Derek Lively, outside of that season that they went to the finals, which was just 2 seasons ago, I mean, he hasn't really lived up to that expectations as a piece to like quote unquote untouchable on your roster.
And so, Daniel Gafford, he's being reportedly shopped.
I didn't even realize that Chris Middleton was on this team. So, but yeah, I don't. He's off the board on my pick, so I couldn't have taken him at number 9. From there, we have number 10. We have the Milwaukee Bucks, the new Bucks as they look to a new era of Milwaukee Bucks basketball. And Izzy would hate this pick, but I'm going Nate Ament, the forward shooting guard out of Tennessee. I think he has the opportunity to really raise his ceiling at the Milwaukee Bucks. He has the highest upside of anybody that's quote unquote left when it comes to the top 10 of this particular mock draft. So I have them go Nate Ament, the shooting guard, small forward out of Tennessee.
See, I had like a lot of mocks had the Bulls.
Power forward, actually. But,
yeah, a lot of mocks had the Bulls getting Nate Ament, but this was pre pre-draft lottery. So Nate Ament was mocked to the Bulls in a lot of mock drafts. Nate Ament to Milwaukee. I don't see how Izzy would hate that. Why would Izzy have
I just thought Izzy wasn't that high on Nate Ament as a player / prospect, because I just remember in the group chat he was talking about how he just doesn't seem assertive enough during the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'll go Nate. I don't have a problem with Nate Ament going 10.
But yeah, I think that's a good pick for Milwaukee. It moves into the
Bleacher
next
Report
turn.
Bleacher Report has him going. Kingston Fleming's at 10. I'm
Is
like,
okay. Well, I guess we'll go through it as we go through it. We'll go through the top 20 picks before we wrap up our mock draft here, because we're coming up on just about 20 minutes away from the start of the NBA draft. Going to go a little bit rapid fire here as we go through the rest of the picks here. Number 11, the Golden State Warriors run the clock at 11 as they try to move on. They try to salvage the final couple of years here of the Stephen Curry era. As he's getting a little bit older, that roster's getting a little bit older. I think they probably got a 2-year window where they're going to still go for this. Steve Kerr signed a 2-year contract, and now all of those, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Steve Kerr, all of their contracts kind of line up together 2 years from now. And I have them going to Michigan and going Yexel Lindenberg. Yeah, the 6'9", 240 guy who's just outstanding in the NCAA tournament. He gives them a lot of versatility that they don't already have on their roster. And I think he could be a ceiling raiser for the upcoming season for the Warriors. But yeah, give me Yasiel Lindenberg for the Golden State Warriors at 11.
Yeah, so like he kind of rubbed fans the wrong way with his, I don't know, like I guess like his attitude or whatever. It was, I forgot what he did, but it rubbed like it was like some pregame. Oh, I remember what it was like. It was like the term is aura farming. Like he's walking out there, like he has his headphones on, and he's wearing shades, and it's just like yeah, it's like ew. It's like I don't know. It was like a bunch of comments like I don't know who you think you are, dude, but you're not him. And and Jackson Lindenberg to Washington to Golden State. I mean, I can see it. Like, hey, learn from Draymond. This will probably be you in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Oh, Golden State was also one of those teams.
He's also already 25 years old. So
right.
like,
oh, I think that's what it was. Like he was talking shit to some freshman. It's like, dude, you're 25.
Yeah. I mean, he's already 25.
Like that's what it was. Like he was talking big shit to some freshman, and it's just like, he's like, he's like, oh, I feel like I think it was like I feel disrespected when they have a freshman guard me. Well, yeah, that's what everybody else has, dude. Your ass been in college for 30 years. It's like, what do you want, man?
But it all paid off. He won a natty. Now he's going to play for the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. From there, number 12, you have the Oklahoma City Thunder on the clock. Mm-hmm. TJ, you got a pick there for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I saw a lot of mocks with Ade Mara going to OKC, and like
that makes a ton of sense because
that makes if he's there at 12, that makes a ton of sense. You already know what you have. You already know who you're drafting him for. It's like, hey man, you got one job. I imagine
Isaiah Hartenstein is probably not coming back. He's probably going to be too expensive.
He had, huh?
I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
No, I think he got at least another year.
Hold on a second.
At least.
Hold on, this website's giving me a little bit of trouble. So he has a team option for next season.
Oh, yeah, he's coming back.
So does Lou Dort. The Thunder are just they're not going to be able to keep both of them. They're going to have to make a difficult decision because Chet Holmgren's extension kicks in this offseason. So does J Dubs.
It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all.
I think they're gonna probably wait. I don't think they'll pick up either of these options.
It's not difficult at all to me. Like if I had to pick one of the two, I'm choosing Hardenstein. I don't think it's necessarily close either.
I wouldn't be shocked if neither of those guys are on their roster next season.
No,
But I mean, yeah, obviously Eddie Amaro makes a ton of sense, even if you do keep Hartenstein, because he just gives you a body that you could throw at Wemby, and Beasley's what 7'2".
Yeah, but at the same, but in both our mocks today, Morris gone. They still stay at Michigan.
I got them taking Morris Johnson.
They go Morris Johnson at 12. Next pick.
To the next pick, we have the Milwaukee Bucks back on the clock as they acquired this pick yesterday from the Miami Heat at number 13 overall. I have them going overseas and taking the kid Kareem Lopez going to the Milwaukee Bucks. So I think you come out of here with Nate Amend and then Kareem Lopez as your foundation pieces to hopefully build on Post-Giannis. Kareem Lopez going to the Milwaukee Bucks.
I don't hate that. 13. So the Bleacher Report mock I'm reading, they have them going Kingston Fleming at 10, and then they have Nate Amend going here at 13.
Man, if they could legitimately pull that off, that would be quite the haul when it comes to like Milwaukee Buck basketball. They have those two guys. You have a power forward of the future on your to add to your roster. Then you have Kingston Fleming who could play either guard position moving forward. I would love that from Milwaukee. Obviously, Kingston Fleming went super early in my mock draft, so he's not available for Milwaukee even at 10. But yeah, that would be quite the haul for Milwaukee and give you pieces. Give you really nice pieces there. From there, we got number 14 overall. We got the Charlotte Hornets on the clock as this was their actual pick as they did make the play, or did they make the play-in and then just do Hornets stuff again?
They made the play-in. They won. I think they won a game, and then they got their ass bounced.
Yeah, they got their ass beat down. So I have them in the mock draft that I have here. I have them going at the center position. I got them Hans Steinbach. I can't remember who I had him as the college, but yeah, he's just a big body. They traded away Williams last offseason. They didn't really replace him with anybody. They need a Washington, the big forward out of Washington, 6'11", 220 pounds. He immediately becomes starting center. He gives you an opportunity to have a lob threat there for a ball. I mean, he's just a perfect plug-and-play guy for the Charlotte Hornets as they need a big guy, a center that they can kind of count on.
Kareem Lopez here makes sense.
Especially since I probably would expect Miles Bridges to not be on the roster next season.
I don't see why not. Charlotte is one of those teams where it's like, dude, please just figure it the fuck out. Like I love Eric Collins. He's one of the better announcers in the industry, and he's just super exciting. And when Charlotte's on, like when they hooping, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Like it's a sight to fucking see. Like it is like LaMelo Ball is doing what he does. He's doing lobs to Miles Bridges. He's doing lobs to the other one. His name's escaping me, but it's
Brandon Miller's on that roster.
Yeah. There you go. So like he's doing lobs to Bridges. He's doing lobs to Brandon Miller, and then like you had that play-in game against Miami.
They got Kobe White on the team now, who's going to be a free agent this offseason.
And they put him in his natural slot as a sixth man. Like Kobe White should be a sixth man of the year candidate.
Brandon Miller will probably get a rookie max extension this offseason too.
You got you had that game against Miami where they won that game, and then they had the next game. I forgot who they played in the next round in the play-in tournament, and they just get absolutely demolished. And that's been the story. Was it the Magic?
It was the Magic.
It was. That's been the fucking story.
Yeah, they get their honorary play-in game, and then they get destroyed. At least they made it out of the first round this time, so maybe things are on the up and up for Charlotte. At number 15 overall, we have the Chicago Bulls back on the clock at number 15. I have the Bulls getting a bit of a steal here because I just wanted this to shake out this way. I got Braden Burries, the kid from Arizona, coming over to the Chicago Bulls. And that means the Chicago Bulls would leave this draft with Braden Burries at the guard position and then Caleb Wilson at the power forward, small forward position. And that gives you some real pieces to really build as we move forward in Chicago Bulls basketball. And your announcer comment just kind of made me think of something.
Stacey King.
I talked about this a little bit during one of the episodes where we talked about the UFL, like right after he passed away. I just give my thoughts and prayers out to the friends and family of Stacey King again. As I talked about at that time, for a lot of my adult life, the Chicago Bulls have been borderline unwatchable, and the only reason to tune into them has been Stacey fucking King. And that hit me very hard. It's going to be very. I was driving home from work and like I got that message and I was like, this can't be
like I was not to the before we move on, like I was literally at the laundromat. I was at the laundromat. I'm scrolling my phone. I'm on Twitter and like 3 minutes ago, a post was, "Hey, we are saddened at the sudden passing of Stacey King," and I'm all like, "Get!" And I'm all like, "Yo," it's like you said, like for the bulk of my life, mind you, I'm 32 years old. Stacey King took over for Johnny Red Curry, what, 2006?
Yeah, 2006.
So 2000, like 20 years.
Yeah,
20 years of my life.
But yeah, so like he was one of one. He's going to be virtually impossible to replace. I would make the argument that the Bulls should just not replace him at all next season and just have one play-by-play guy and just have that seat be empty for one season. I don't think they'll do that, but
but back to this. I stay in the draft. I stay in the guard position. I go Cam Carr out of Baylor. To me, that's a steal. Like to get Cam Carr at 15 and to get Caleb Wilson at 4. Give me then you got 2 picks in the second round, which we ain't doing the second round. Cam Carr could absolutely be him and Caleb could absolutely be like a 1-2 punch for the Bulls for the next decade if everything plays out right.
I agree with you on the same combination of just a guard and a forward.
No, you're good.
Moving on from there, we got the Memphis Grizzlies on the clock. Although, by the way, that Bulls pick came from Portland. From way back.
Yes, finally.
It's part of the Lauri Markkanen trade that happened in 2021. So yeah, that trade has been a long time coming. And yeah, finally the Bulls are going to get that pick. And now we have the Memphis Grizzlies on the clock. I have them also pairing Cameron Boozer with another guard, and it's the same guy that you just mentioned. I got Cameron Carr going to the Memphis Grizzlies, and if they keep John Morant, him and Cameron Carr and Cameron Boozer, that will be a very nice trio of players moving forward for the Memphis Grizzlies at 16.
Give me. So like this mock draft has them going Bennett Sturts out of Iowa, who is a pure fucking bucket getter. But
by the way, this pick is coming over from Orlando as part of the Desmond Bain
trade. Yeah, but that's also the problem with Iowa. If Bennett Sturts wasn't scoring the ball, nobody was. Like if Bennett Sturts wasn't scoring the ball for Iowa, nobody was. I don't see that. I don't see him going at 15. I'm going Brandon Burries for Memphis. Especially with the rumors around John Morant circling. I mean, like, even if you don't trade John Morant, pairing him with Brandon Burries would still be nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Moving on from there, the Oklahoma City Thunder on the clock, and TJ, they have this pick because of the Al Horford trade back in 2020 between them and the 76ers, because the 76ers traded Al Horford to the Oklahoma City Thunder to get off of his contract, and they gave up this 2026 first-round pick 5-6 freaking years ago, and now it's going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had two picks in the top 20 of this particular draft. I do not really know how to pronounce this guy's name, so I apologize in advance if I mispronounce it. But it's the guard out of Alabama. It's LeBaron Filan Jr. He becomes 6'4", 185 pounds. He just becomes a ceiling raiser for the Oklahoma City Thunder, a scoring guard who can kind of take some of the pressure off of SGA, because that was pretty obvious in that series against the Oklahoma or against the Spurs, that SGA just has so much of the offensive load to carry for the Thunder on a night-to-night basis. If they can get another guy that can get some score, get some buckets, and this also kind of makes Lou Dort expendable because I don't expect him to be back next season. But yeah, Filan Jr. going from Alabama to the Thunder.
See, like now, this is like you said earlier, like this is where shit starts to get a little sticky about the prospects. So the one thing they need is, like you said, someone not named SGA to be a scoring threat when J-Dub is not on the floor. J-Dub, like, cause we play the what if game all the time, right? If J-Dub isn't hurt, like if he's healthy, do San Antonio beat them? Maybe.
I mean,
but we don't know, right? It's closer to 50-50 than it was. I mean, like, and you gotta keep in mind, like SGA took him 7 without J-Dub, right? Like that Thunder, like that was a 7-game series without SGA's running mate. The problem with, like, the reason you don't have a problem with letting an Aaron Wiggins go outside of like cap space and stuff is, I guess, because like the consistency thing, like you want and like I said, like and they deep as hell. Like you had Aaron Wiggins, you had AJ Mitchell, you had like it's cool being on the team like the Thunder, but I would hate being on the team like the Thunder because like you don't know if you're gonna play tonight, tomorrow night, you might go a whole month without playing because that's just how fucking deep the team is, right?
Yeah.
Haynes Steinbeck makes sense here. He's a big. I can also see them going. I think his name is Dylan.
Oh, the kid Dylan Swain, the kid from
Dylan Swain out of Texas.
Yeah, Texas. That makes a lot of sense too. It probably makes even more sense the guy that I picked.
6'8".
Yeah, 6'8". Could a good defense squad. It could be a good defender at the next level.
Can handle the ball
and would be a 1-for-1 replacement for Lou Dort.
He causes a matchup perimeter on the OKC. He causes a matchup problem on the OKC perimeter because if you're you're OKC, goddamn it, new fucking target acquired, and they're down to San Antonio.
Yeah,
it's now inked in pen, etched in stone that for the next decade we gonna get some variation of Spurs Thunder somewhere in the playoffs, whether it's the second round, whether it's the conference finals. God damn it, y'all gonna run into each other somewhere in that range. So if you get a Dylan Swain at 17, who at 6'8", how tall is Dylan Harper? He ain't 6'8".
He's 6'6", 6'7".
The 6'6" ain't 6'8".
Okay, you're right.
How tall is De'Aaron Fox? He damn sure ain't 6'8".
He's 6'4", I want to say.
Right? Who else?
If he's even back on the team next season.
How tall is Darren Fasell? He ain't 6'8".
He's probably 6'6", 6'7", and then Stephon Castle's like 6'8", 6'7" as well.
And Stephon Castle's not 6'8".
I think he might be.
No, Stephon Castle is not looking OG Anunoby in the eye.
De'Aaron Fox is 6'3". Hold on, I got you. Stephon Castle's 6'6".
Man, 6'4", 6'4" with shoes on. Like he's 6'6" with shoes on.
Devin Vassell is 6'5".
Like anyway, they not 6'8". So you tried out 6'6" SGA, 6'4" J Dub, 6'8" Dylan Swain. It's gonna be a problem, man. It's gonna be a problem.
Moving on from the Oklahoma City Thunder, as we are about 10 minutes now from the actual start of the NBA draft. Charlotte Hornets are on the clock. They have this pick from a trade with the Phoenix Suns, where Phoenix just
Mark Williams, right?
No, they just needed Yusuf Nurkic to go away. This happened last season, actually. They needed Yusuf Nurkic to just go away, so they traded Yusuf Nurkic and the 2026 first-round pick for some stuff and a 2026 second-round pick. So now Charlotte is back on the clock.
Remember there was a point in time where the Denver Nuggets had to choose between Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah, I would say they made the right choice.
And I remember that was a conversation.
I have them going to the Bay Area, and I have them taking Alan Graves, the power forward out of the University of Santa Clara. Probably one of the, he has a very similar build and prospect type as Jay.
Haynes Steinbeck here. Hand and fucking glove. He's 6'11".
He's hella gone.
He's still on mine. He's still on mine. And again, like he should. Here's the thing that always irks me about the NBA. Like, if you're a bad team, if you're a Charlotte, if you're a Chicago, if you're a Washington, there's no reason at all why your draft picks shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, 100%.
There's just no reason at all why you draft a kid high or in the first round, and you're just like, hey, we're gonna send you down to our G League, and we want you to work on this, and then we're gonna call you up periodically. But then we're going to send you back down, and then we're going to call you up again, and then we're going to send you back down. And when we do call you up, you may play or you may not play.
There has been no history of that being an effective strategy to building
none whatsoever
to player development. Like, if you're gonna, just play the guy. If you're gonna draft him, just play him. Number 19, the Toronto Raptors are on the clock as we got just two more picks here in our mock draft. I have the Toronto Raptors going after the guard position, going after Christian Anderson, the kid from Texas Tech. He's a 6'3", 178 pounds, should be a good scorer, three-point shooter. You can pair him with Manuel Quigley at the backcourt there. You're pretty small at the backcourt, but those guys 1-2 punch along with everything else they have going on in their roster. And they probably have the worst contract in the NBA on their books right now, in that Jakob Poeltl contract, which they will probably be stuck with for the foreseeable future. But Christian Anderson Jr. going to Toronto Raptors at number 19. TJ.
Christian Anderson out of Texas Tech. Who is gonna be I ain't gonna say a hot commodity when it comes to Olympic basketball, because he can play for USA and he can play for Germany. That being said, like, if you're Toronto, all right, so you still got what's his name? You still got Quickly,
We got Brandon Ingram, you got Scotty Barnes, you got Jakob Poeltl for what it's worth.
Yeah, Jakob Poeltl. I mean, hey, as far as defensive purposes, like Jakob Poeltl, you can't get any worse, right? He's a shot blocker. I mean, he's a rim protector. I guess. Like people do this shit all the time. Like Dwight Howard caused a lot of people to think like, hey, if you're not blocking shit like Dwight Howard, you're a bum. No. Like, everybody ain't gonna be blocking shit or protecting the rim like Wemby. You're not. There's a reason those dudes are one of one. If you are Jakob Poeltl and you getting a block and a half to 2 blocks a game from out of him, damn it! Any other year in the NBA where there's not a Wemby, that wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he averaged a half a block last season.
Toronto. I don't know what they need. They go like, I had them beating Cleveland in 7, and they don't do it. Like, they could have beat Cleveland.
Yeah, they have some interesting players on their roster. I mean, Kyle Murray Boyles was solid his rookie season at the power forward position. They really need a big that's not Jakob Pertl, but there's no unless they're going to be the team that takes a swing on the kid from Kentucky that tore his ACL, never really got to play this season. Jaden Queentanson or Quidance.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. The Bulls. He was linked to the Bulls too.
Or this could be another Dylan Swain spot. You know, he kind of fits the same mold as all the other players on their roster. You know, or they could take the guard, the Bennett Sturridge. He's still on my board here at number 19 for the Raptors.
So what's their starting five? Quickly.
I have that pulled up. So it's quickly Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Pertl is their starting five. BI is their starting shooting guard.
God damn it.
And then they have Jacoby Walter coming off their bench, Jamal Shed, and then Sandro, and then that last name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's I forgot what position he is.
He plays center, but he's.
Oh yeah. I think he's a bit of a stretch big. He can shoot it a little bit.
Yeah, 40% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, he can shoot it a little bit. Fuck. If you're Toronto, what do? Who's a free agent for them, real quick?
Hold on.
Like who's an expiring deal? Who's not coming back?
They don't have anybody that's expiring. They do have Garrett Temple who's expiring, but he's Garrett Temple,
retired?
Great Dick,
semi-retired.
Yeah, they don't have anybody coming off their books. Like this is Jakob Pertl's massive extension kicks in next offseason.
Then it starts.
RJ Barrett is on an expiring deal.
The way my board fell, Kingston Fleming is still. I think he's still on my board. If I didn't have Milwaukee taking him, or Memphis taking him, there's no way Kingston Fleming's still on the board at 19. I'd be absolutely positively shocked.
I'm pretty sure he had him going to Milwaukee or
I did. Okay,
Memphis, one of the two.
This is tricky. This is because Grady Dick's been a disappointment for them. Jamel Shed is what he is. What he is. He's their Davion Mitchell. Like he comes off the bench. He's just a fucking bug defensively. He was like that in college out of Houston. Bennett Sturts, for the sole purpose of, hey bro, just stretch the floor. Just go out there and just be a threat. He's absolutely one of those dudes where it's like you cannot leave Bennett Sturts alone. Cannot leave him alone. He'll hurt you. Bennett Sturts at 19. Whew. That would you could argue that would be a steal.
To the final pick of this particular mock draft, we're coming up about 5 minutes from the start of the actual NBA draft. You can watch it over there on your ESPN affiliates. I think it's still airing on ABC as well. I'm hoping it's airing on ABC because otherwise I won't be able to watch it. This pick is coming over from the DeJounte Murray trade, where the San Antonio Spurs had the opportunity to swap picks with the Atlanta Hawks in 2026. So the Spurs swapped with Atlanta. Atlanta falls down to the 23rd pick, and the Spurs get 20. I have them going Chris Sinac Jr. out of Houston. I think he will be a very good complement to Wemby, especially if you want to play Wemby at the 5. I think Chris Sinac could play the power forward position and give you a little bit of a scoring punch.
Wemby at the 5. Wemby is the 5.
Oh yeah. At the 5. And then Chris Sinac could be their starting power forward, give you a little bit of scoring punch at that position because they don't really have anybody that does that
I think going forward, next season, San Antonio is going to do 4 guards in Wemby. They're going to do Fox, Castle, Vassell, and Harper, and then Wemby at the 5. And if you ask Izzy, Luke Cornett is a complete liability. Now, I'm being honest. He did not have a good finals. He
But,
didn't.
but the problem is that he's just such like he's such a substantial downgrade from Webby. It's just very obvious when he's on the
But at
court.
the same
And
time,
like,
but at the same time, like who's not gonna be a substantial
I know,
downgrade?
I know, but like, I mean, the reason that he looks so bad all the time is because
Because Wemby looks so good.
yeah, like you put him like he just looks terrible because
Like it was like a night and day thing for Luke Cornett because against the Thunder, he was fucking phenomenal. Was he not?
he was all right. Yeah, he was
He
good.
was like for the against the Thunder, that was probably like the best Luke Cornett has probably. I mean, outside
Well,
of that,
let's also not pretend like the entire Spurs, like they could have easily swept the Knicks, and yet they get bounced in 5 games. Like they had a lead in every game, and they ended up choking the series away. Like
they didn't right. Like that's why Wemby lost a lot of points to a lot of people. Or we dominated every game this series. Domination means you won, motherfucker.
yeah, it's true.
Did they change the definition of dominating in the last week or so?
No.
Like,
Anyways, yeah, we got one more minute before the draft starts. TJ, who do you got the Spurs taking at 20?
No, so I can see. I don't mind the Chris Sinat pick because that tells me like that's you're telling everybody what everybody saw in the finals. Like, hey, you need a serviceable big when Wembanyama is not on the court. You need somebody who can give Wemby a certified 6 to 8 minute break. When Wemby comes out at the 12 minutes of court, when Wemby comes out at like the 3-minute mark of the third quarter to whenever he goes back in at the 8.5 minute mark in the fourth, you need somebody who's not going to just be detrimental while he's fucking catching his breath. Now, over the course of 82 games, Luke Cornett is fine. Like, we saw that. Because, like, you lose this game, it's like, hey, on to the next one. It fucking happens. But come down to the nitty-gritty, you want somebody who's like, hey, because like you can literally argue, like, hey, part of the reason why they blew some of blew those leads, the ones that they did, because Wemby was fucking exhausted. He was gassed.
He played a billion minutes, especially in game 5.
And if I'm Wembanyama, so like I'm agreeing with you, I'm gonna go Chris Sinat Jr. But if I'm Wembanyama, goddamn it, you gotta take it personal to the point where the smallest dude on the court being Jalen Brunson, actively sought you out. He sought your big, like you, the defensive player of the year. They pick and rolling for you to put you on Jalen Brunson, and they like, hey, no, bring your big ass on out here, bro.
This is the rest of the draft order. The final 10 picks: Pistons, Sixers, Hawks, Knicks, Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics, Nets, Cavaliers, and then Mavericks. And obviously that 28th pick, the Nets just acquired yesterday. From the Minnesota Timberwolves. But yeah, that'll be the crossover. That'll be our 2026 NBA mock draft. This has been Prime Sports World as the actual draft is getting started right now. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We'll be back here tomorrow breaking down everything that happened in the first round, give you our winners and losers. But keep an eye out for all that content. I'm David On Point Huppin, right there, Mr. T.J. Hopkins.
They have Cole Pete fall into the second round. I don't. Damn,
I had him going at 26 to the Nuggets.
That's crazy. I like that.
Yeah. We'll be back here tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. TJ, what we do here at Prime Sports World, my friend?
We bring the heat, kind sir, and let's watch this draft and hope our beloved Chicago Bulls do the right thing at number 4.
Let's go, baby.
And draft Caleb Wilson. I don't want to hear no other name except Caleb Wilson.
I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.